different today. You guys know that I do cover some stuff that happens on Bravo, but usually I'm a little bit more timely with that. I've been kind of slacking and falling behind as far as like the episodes are concerned. However, I did want to provide a reading since we are seeing a lot of seasons come to a close. We have Salt Lake City, which has ended. I think I have not gotten to the end of the season. There will not be any spoilers. However, we are going to get into the profile of Meredith. Okay, Miss Marks. Now, I watched some episode last night that kind of led me to want to do this because we've been seeing her and Lisa be very, very disrupted as far as like the season is concerned. Now, these two have always kind of worked hand in hand to provide us a certain level of chaos, but I do feel like with the change in cast, there have been some elements that make it impossible for such mean girl activity to coexist. Okay, when we have to be grown and we have to be accountable and we can't bully and we can't set double standards, all of those things, right? So something is going on. I don't know if this is like reunion info that I'm picking up on or what, but let's see what's happening. Because actually, wait, is the season over? Again, let me know in the comments. I have no idea. Now, we have a hotel room argument escalates. So I don't know if this, again, it has something to do with something that has happened in the last couple of episodes. Or, so again, let me know in the comments. Or if this is like reunion energy. But there's something there. And we have a hidden enemy. Okay, so anger escalates quickly in a confrontation. Somebody says something like you crossed the line. That does sound like Meredith. You crossed the line. And I don't know if this is okay, so you crossed the line. Meredith could be feeling slighted by somebody specific. The overachiever is here right next to that. So I don't know who that is, but brand expansion and mansion drama is here. So the overachiever with brand expansion makes me think of Lisa. She's always saying, oh, I do everything and you guys do nothing. We have mansion drama. I don't know if this has to do with Lisa's home. I feel like she just built a new home or is building a new home. I don't know. So that can't be her. This may have something to do with Meredith. Meredith always seems to have some like drama with her house or the mortgage or her being a renter when everybody thinks she's got a mortgage. It's like something going on with that. All right. We also have the church lady here. A dramatic apology falls flat. I think this is like when Meredith apologized to Brittany and everybody was just like, girl, you have a whole problem. So there's that. A friend switches sides live on camera. Let me know in the comments, did that happen? I feel like there's been a lot of flip-flopping as far as all of the women are concerned. At some level, everybody has flipped on each other. But the main flippers, I feel like, are people like Lisa. She's conveniently the type of person who will, advocate for Meredith when she's in her face, but behind her back, she may do something different. Mary sometimes is very sometimey with Meredith. Her and her relationship, they kind of have been at odds. So it makes sense that we're seeing the overachiever and we're seeing the church lady card. Okay, so there's that. Then who's also a number one flipper? Heather is such a flipper. She kind of gets on my nerves. Now, let's move on. Anxiety affects decision-making. Wine-fueled gossip spreads like wildfire. This is definitely Meredith. I think part of why we're seeing her act out with this type of behavior is because she may be at a point where she could have been like self-medicating on different substances, mixing substances, whatever. And it's just like coming to a head. Okay, we have brand collaboration and emotional breakdown. This is not okay. The this is not okay card is such a quote that I swear I've heard from Meredith so many times. This is not okay. Okay, a hidden truth changes perception. So I don't know if something came out about the truth or validity about what happened on the plane. I don't know if we're seeing new details come out. Again, like I said, don't spoil it for me. Put it in the comments so I can read it later. I don't know what's happened at the last few seasons or last few episodes of this season. Now we have fan favorite, public debate, and there's some type of luxury scandal. Okay, so there could be a public debate about where Meredith is really getting her money, how she's funding her lifestyle, what's really going on behind the scenes. Does she really sell clothes? Is it really like, not that does she really sell clothes, but is it more like a vanity project to basically have like like have another like an extended closet, because sometimes people do certain things but it's more so out of their own personal interest and it's not so much about it, about the business scaling, or you know what I mean. So maybe could be some conversation about that. She does have a lot to say about like Whitney and whenever she drops some new stuff or whatever, so maybe there could be some type of comparison there. Either way, somebody's confused about something. Okay, they're confused about something. Then the other card that came out as the last part of this reading was great sense of style. Okay, I think for the most part we think that Meredith has a good sense of style. I don't like everything that Meredith puts on. Let me just say that. Some stuff is a little too ugh, but for the most part, she's okay. Now, let's get into the final part of this reading and then we're going to close out. Chat, the audience, whoever, we're waiting on some tea. There's something that's pending. For some reason, I feel like it's the main question of the day. It's like either it has to do with Bronwyn or it has to do with Meredith. Is she really a drunk? Is she going to go to rehab? What's going on with her? Why is she feeling this way? What's her husband's name? Put Meredith's husband's name in the comments. I cannot remember his name. Whoever he is, I feel like they have been trying to put up a front about, it's like some type of front on who he actually is to her. I think they've had a relationship. I think it's run its course and they're just trying to keep it together for the purpose of business, and not so much business because it's booming, more so to keep the perception going, if that makes sense. But the truth comes out, change the perception. Remember that card that just flew out. So it's something about that they have to come to terms with. Now, somebody could be having a crush withdrawal. Again, this feels like the husband. I don't know why. Projection war is here. There's some type of major shift that happens. Maybe this is like the audience really turning their back on Meredith and not letting her slide. But either way, there's going to be a string of things that comes out. Okay, a string of things. It's not going to be just one thing. It's going to be a string of things that comes out. We also have some type of attention grab move here, so I don't know if that's going to be her or her husband or somebody close around her that's going to try to like take the attention away from a main situation or point. I don't know. Now we also have the unlikely alliance card. I don't know who that could be. Maybe this is Angie and Meredith building a bond, or I don't know, child. I'm not going to speculate because like I said, when it comes down to doing readings on the housewives, it's kind of like it has a different feel than me doing my regular celebrity readings, my political readings. Like it just is a different vibe. And I'm still actually kind of new to it because I created a completely separate deck that is like specifically geared towards the housewives. Now, that is what I have. I don't know what you want from that. Like, I don't know what you're going to take away from the situation. Let me know in the comments. This could have been just like a waste of my time, but I was nosy. I can't remember what I was watching that made me feel like, let me do a reading. I think it was everybody sitting around the round table at Greece, and they were all like fake crying about, or just being fake concerned about Meredith. I kind of hate when the housewives do that because it's all under the guise of, oh my God, our friend needs our help. But it's really more so to expose your friend. But that's a whole nother conversation for another time. My puppy is crying, so I must tend to